Make sure you hit that like button upon entry. It's only right. It's snowing outside, y'all. You ain't got nowhere to go. Ain't no better place than to be right here. Y'all see what it is? We got the super special guest in the house tonight. These y'all. Click that like button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We about to get it in. One of the greatest. I know the word legend gets thrown around a lot, but this is some legendary shit for real. I'll smoke to that. What's good, my peoples? Peace, 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 peace. Welcome to the Yanadameen Godcast. My name is Lord Jamar. If you ask where Digga and Godfrey is right now, I'm going to tell the truth. I had to be selfish on this one. I had to be selfish on this one. Because my knowledge of this is too vast, too extensive. And I know for a fact Digga got love for the brother, but she don't know the shit like how I know it. She wasn't old enough to hear these tapes like that. So I'm gonna let her sit back and do the knowledge. Okay. On this Knowledge Equality Day, all being born to God. Peace to everybody in the chat right now, YouTube Live. Listen, I got my brother here. He's right on time. I don't want to even keep him waiting too long. We're going to get right to it. Man, pioneer. Someone who, you know, I could say was there at the inception of hip hop. And he's going to tell us a lot about, you know, how this thing started and how he became one of the MCs that I feel helped to move this thing forward. You know, because at one point it was a lot of yes, yes, y'all, or to the beat, y'all. But certain MCs took it to a lyrical place that made you say, whoa, like, is that what you can do with this rap shit? Like, that's crazy. And that inspired your next generation of ill-ass MCs. You know what I mean? Your LL Cool J's and your Run DMCs and your Rakims and everybody else that you can name. So listen, without any further ado, I want to bring my brother in right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the Yanadameen Godcast, my brother, Grandmaster Caz.
Yes, yes.
I got to put you in the honorary spot. Here you go.
All right, peace.
Well, first we'll be like this, but when you talking, I'm gonna put you in that honorary spot. How you doing, God?
I'm all good. Under the circumstances, I'm as well as I can be.
Right. Well, it's good to see you, and you know, it's always good to be seen and not viewed. They say, right?
All right. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So listen, man, you are a staple. You are a pioneer in the truest sense of the word.
That's what they say.
In this hip hop game. I mean, they say it, and they mean it, because you know, you were there in the beginning, when before this shit was even really on records like that. Like you were there. So I mean, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, this is Grandmaster Caz from the legendary Cold Crush 4 MCs with DJ Charlie Chase and Tony Tone.
All right. CC4, baby.
CC4 with the rhymes galore. Now I'm gonna attempt. Now it's been 40 years. You're gonna have to forgive me, but I am going to attempt to say some of these rhymes. Okay. Even though I was like 12 years old at the time. Not sure how old you were at the time, but I know you were older than me. She was doing the damn thing, and all I was doing was getting the tapes. I wasn't even old enough to go to these parties. You understand? Plus, I was up in New Rochelle. So we're just getting that peripheral, you know, the Bronx was right there though. So we was getting it.
Right. You was getting it from the source.
Yeah, we was getting those airy tapes, you know. So if niggas was taping the shit in the Bronx, let's say it got stepped on, like, you know, because them tapes was like dope and they was getting stepped on.
Oh, no doubt. Niggas was putting 2s and 3s on them. You know,
3 cuts on the motherfucker. As far as every time you record it, you're taking a generation of quality away and you're adding air to the tape.
Exactly.
So you could tell that your tape had really been around by how much air was in that tape. You know what I mean? And I'm sure we was getting a lot of airy ass tapes up in New Rochelle, but we didn't give a fuck. It added to the mystique of it all. Like, you know what I mean? To the sound of it all. So
we were one of the early crews that we paid attention to recording our performances and our live shows. Me as a DJ, I always did that, and I made mixtapes for people while they sat there, you know, watching me. You know what I mean? Like, you want to tape? All right, come to my house. You know what I mean? Put you right in front of the turntable. What's your name? What's your girl name? What block you from on? I mean, what school you go to? You know what I mean? Put all that shit in it. Bang, bang, bang. $20. I write you out. One person at a time. And usually they were personalized. So they wouldn't make a lot of copies. It's like, nah, you got to get him to make you one.
Right.
Now, when we started doing it on a mass level, it was like, okay, make the tape and put it out. People like Richard T, who owned the T Connection uptown, you know, he owned the club. So he recorded everything that went on in there. And he had a store where he used to sell the tapes out of the store. We had a tape master that used to tape all the Cold Crush parties. You know, he had a spot up here in Soundview at the flea market where people could come and buy. So they was getting crispy copies.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, firsthand off the people that was making them. I mean, after that, the people who bought the copy might have made somebody a copy. Then they made somebody a copy.
And that's what was happening. That was the original bootleg of those tapes.
No doubt.
But the bootleg was good in a way because it helped make hip hop. You know what I mean?
It helped spread.
Yeah, it proliferated through that. Now, I'm not gonna lie, at the time, being so young, I'm not seeing it. So I'm naive. I swore y'all was at like Madison Square Garden or some shit like that. Like, that's my word. Like when y'all could say ho, and it was ho, I swore that in my mind, y'all was at the Garden. Because this is all I knew from watching TV and shit like that. I seen rock and roll motherfuckers that was like their music was popular. Niggas like Kiss and shit at the time. They was doing arenas. So in nowhere in my mind did I think that this was like in the rec center or like, you know what I mean?
Right.
In these little ass
spot,
little ass clubs, T Connection, the Fever, and all this type of these little tight ass spots. I'm thinking this is some gigantic organized shit, like, you know what I mean? But then I'm realizing, hold up, these, you know what I mean? It's not the same, like, you know what I mean? Where's the records and all of that? Where's, you know what I mean?
I mean, look, if you're a kid and you listening to that, it sounds like it's performers, it's like singers, it's like, artists, to you, you know what I mean? But it was just starting out, and it was on such a grassroots level, you know what I mean? And plus, if you ain't out the hood, anything is sensationalized. So we were like the ghetto superstars when we were nobodies, basically, to the world. We were superstars to the neighborhood and to the next generation coming up under us. You know what I mean? And
you couldn't tell me y'all wasn't, you know what I mean, like balling or some shit out of control. Like when I seen y'all with the gangsta suits on and all of that type of shit, like with the hats and all that, I said, man, this shit is mean. It's like y'all just embodied the epitome of some hard street hip hop shit. But hold up, let's back up a little bit. How did you get turned on to this shit? Because obviously you're Grandmaster Caz, the DJ, before you're the MC, yes?
Yeah, I'm Casanova Fly.
Casanova Fly from the Casanova. What, Casanova Brothers, was that it?
Well, what it was a crew around my way. I used to live on the west side of the Bronx on a block up from Sedgwick Avenue. And some cats that I went to school with on the next block over has a crew called the
River Park Towers and all that over there.
Say what?
River Park Towers over there.
Yeah, right. Up the block from River Park Towers. So the building right next to the firehouse on Sedgwick, when you go turn off Burnside, going towards the towers.
I know I had a little shorty over there back in the day.
All right. Well, that's where the Casanova crew was at. There was just a group of dudes that hung out together. You know what I mean? They was from the building, the block, whatever. Some of them was b-boys. So that Casanova concept was dope to me, and so I took the name Casanova Fly.
Did y'all think y'all was cool and fly? Hell
yeah! Hell yeah!
We get all the bitches. Like what?
I thought they was. You know what I mean? I was still young. You know what I mean? Coming into myself, and I'm like, that's the persona that I want to put forth. That's, you know what I mean? That's how I see myself. So yeah, you motherfucking right. From that time on, from the time I adopted that name, Casanova Fly, I became a Casanova and Fly.
Right.
I mean, you had to live up to your shit back then. Now you got the grand this and that and the such and such, and you know what I mean? But if you wasn't that, you couldn't walk around playing that shit. You get played out. Fuck out of here. What's grand about you? What's fly about you? You know what I mean? You had to be that shit.
So you start as a DJ in the Casanova crew, yes? You had your equipment or something shit, or you just
B-boy first
do it?
B-boy thing got me my name.
So b-boying, for those that don't understand, b-boying, you were like breakdancing and MCing shit. I mean, breakdancing and popping and shit like that.
I wasn't pop. I didn't pop. Popping was the West Coast Soul Train shit back then. You know what I mean? Which we adopted a little later on.
Okay.
But, yeah, I was into the b-boy aspect. After a while, I kind of outgrew it, and I was looking for the next level, which was playing music, DJ.
Right.
So That's when I got into DJing. I kept the name Casanova Flies.
What age are you around this time?
I'm like 14.
Okay.
B-boying, and then like 15, 16, 7 as a DJ.
Okay. So how long you DJing?
I'm DJing for, from 75 to like 70 to 80.
Because I started as a DJ as well, but go ahead.
So yeah, about 75 to 80. I had different crews. First, I had a partner, DJ Disco Wiz, my brother, my best friend, and he became my DJ partner. And then I went through a series of different, crews, MCs that came and went, to eventually I joined the Cold Crush Brothers with my brother JDL. And and that was like 80. We stayed in the lab all year, and then we came out in 81, just start smashing shit.
So hold on. You meet JDL, and he already trying to put like the Cold Crush together, or where did that name come from? Because first of all, the first time I heard the name Cold Crush, I said, yo, that shit just sounded so fucking hard, like cold crushing motherfucking tough ass 4MC. Holy shit.
No doubt.
Who, why, when, where?
JDL was a part of my group since it was the Mighty Force, and since Whipper Whip and Dada Rock was down with me.
Okay? Oh, really?
This is way before they joined the Fantastic Five and all that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whipper Whip and Dada Rock started out with me. They was the Salt and Pepper MCs. They left. They got down with Charlie Chase.
So they was Salt and Pepper before Salt and Pepper.
Yeah, they original Salt and Pepper. Salt and Pepper got their whole shit from Whip and Dot.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, my mic sound nice. Check. That's Whip and Dot. That's Whip and Dot. And I got tapes of them doing that shit.
Wow.
So yeah. So they were part of my crew in the early days. Like I said, they left and a few MCs left, but the one MC that was left throughout all the, the shifting and changing was JDL. Then we just started performing by ourselves, the Notorious 2. So if you look on, there's like a year and a half of flyers that me and JDL is on damn near every flyer. You know what I mean? Just as a part of
Notorious.
Just as the Notorious 2.
Right.
Then we both joined the Cold Crush.
So now the Cold Crush, the other members would be Easy AD and Almighty KG. Now, what they was already rocking together, and then y'all kind of just Voltroned. What? How did that form?
What happened was, Tony Tone started the Cold Crush. Tony Tone was DJ Breakout, down with DJ Breakout Baron and the original Funky Four, the Brothers Disco.
Right. Now to be clear, Tony Tone was never leaving the girls alone, right?
Right, exactly.
I just want to be clear. Okay, continue.
That was his moniker. He was the equipment man for the Brothers Disco. After a while, once they start breaking up and moving and shaking, Tone left, started his own crew. He found Charlie Chase, which was like the only Puerto Rican DJ that was scratching, cutting up, break beats and shit. So he started a crew around Chase.
And that was impressive too. Like, I guess that was kind of y'all hook. Like, look, we got a Puerto Rican guy that could scratch. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, and that was.
He could cut up breaks with the best of the DJs out there. So Tone, thought that would be cool. So he wanted to put some MCs around him that could be competitive with a Funky Four, with the L Brothers at the time, with the Furious Five, like that. So little by little, he started recruiting MCs. Now, the last MCs they had was the MCs, my former MCs, Whip and Dot. Okay. and Mr. T. They moved on to form the Fantastic Five with Kevin them.
Yes.
So
as well. But not like Cold Crush. I mean, the Fantastic Five, I loved them, but Cold Crush was something else, boy. I tell you, I'm talking about.
Tone went to South Bronx High School, and so did Easy AD. So they connected there. So Easy AD was one of like the first Cold Crush MC. You know what I mean? So boom. Now Chase goes about trying to recruit me. I'm like, I don't want to be down with nobody. I always had my own crew, always did my own thing. But he was like, yo, you join forces with me, man. You whip up these, the MCs, and we got a crew. We could be able to fuck around. I'm like, ah. And after a while, I was like, fuck it. If JDL is down, I'm down. They didn't want JDL. They didn't want JDL. They were scared of JDL. They was like, yo, that nigga's he crazy. Like, yo, he be
He's a wild boy.
No, that's my nigga, though. That's my dude. I'm like, look, if he ain't down, I ain't down. So I kept doing, me and JDL kept doing Notorious 2 parties. So Charlie finally said, yo, fuck it, man. All right, y'all down. So now it's me, JDL, and Easy AD. We need one more MC.
At the end of the line.
Chase set up auditions. He said, Caz, I need you to come over and check out some MCs. Let me know, which one I should keep. So it was only 2 people. It was KG and this kid named Dynamite T.
Wait, they the only ones that showed up for the audition?
Yeah. It was local. You know what I mean? And everybody was felt they was down with somebody.
Right. Everybody was, all spots was damn near filled. So you was
right.
Get 2 motherfuckers to come in. I got it.
Right. So I listened to them. They both was all right, but one of them sounded like, yo, this nigga, he sounded like he could, you know what I mean?
Right.
Anchor man right there. Boom. Not good voice, you know what I mean? Good flow. Take him. That was KG. You know what I mean? Once KG was down, then that was the Cold Crush 4 as you know it. And like I said, we went into the lab for a year. Once we got the lineup, we got everything straight. All right, come to my house. This is the practice schedule, and this is where we're gonna get it in every day. Every day. Next season, we come out.
But because I gotta be honest, y'all sounded like y'all did that. Like y'all seriously, y'all shit was so polished. Like the way y'all would first of all, the way y'all would take whatever was popular at the time, whether it be a commercial, a TV show theme, a fucking song that was on the radio right at the time, and then flip it on some hip hop shit and have it go perfectly. And I mean perfectly with the break beats. Like this shit was fucking the way y'all would use the big beat or especially love rap. Love rap.
Love rap, that was the universal theme for every hip hop.
Love rap just
groups to
so
rock
well. Yes, it worked so well with so many people's fucking routines that it's crazy. That's one of my favorite breaks to this day, probably. Like y'all shit was just at an extra level, it was at an extra level of showmanship. From what I understand, y'all might have even been doing the little steps and all this type of shit too.
Oh yeah, We
now,
did
I couldn't see. You see, I couldn't see this, but from what I'm listening to, there
were pauses in the tape where you just heard people, you heard the music,
and we knew you were doing something. We knew you were doing something because
that was the steps.
The reaction in the background, oh yeah, they must be doing some steps right there because they're acting oh yeah, that's fly. But
let me tell you the origin of that though, because we get a lot of kudos, you know what I mean, for our routines and shit like that, and people who kind of stand out or be in the forefront of anything kind of overshadow the fact that there was other people doing this shit.
Oh, and yes, give them love because I love them too. But
so let me do that first, because a lot of them are responsible for how good we are and for the way that we did our thing. Now the origin of these the routines came from TV commercials, cartoons, TV shows. Exactly. So
Gigantor.
A lot of them, we experimented a lot. You know what I mean? And if you hear some of the early ones that never really made the cut, but you heard us do, they sound cornball right now. And you know what I mean? But we were trying to find ourselves. So when everybody else was doing the little sing-song, things that everybody was familiar with, and everybody knew, oh, that's the Gilligan's Island song. Oh, that's the F Troop.
We came to the
point. Right.
You take out all MC.
Right. That's all that obvious shit.
Yeah.
So I didn't, I dug deep. So I went back to 77 WABC. You know what I mean? In the morning and dug out the Barry Manilow shit and the Simon and Garfunkel shit, you know what I mean? And, shit like that, and put that shit to love rap. And it just, you can't do no sing-songy shit, you know what I mean? When I'm doing this and try and put it on, it's not on the same level. That shit, you know what I mean? So we were inspired. I was inspired mainly to go beyond what other people were doing. So I was inspired by it, but it's like, nah, I ain't gonna do that, nigga. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take that shit here.
I remember hearing, my name is Jerry D, you're a JDL. I want to go to heaven before I go to hell. And then a Duracell. And then Rocket Well. Oh, man, and that was to Rocket in the Pop. But see, I heard y'all flip them on different beats. Like I'd get different tapes, and sometimes y'all would do the same routine, but on a different beat. Like I'm like, wow, that shit still sounds good on that beat too.
There's only a couple beats that you can flip that to, and if they're the same tempo, but you won't get the same effect. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we can do our Rocket in the Pocket routines off of Love Rap.
Right.
Vice versa. They'll still be dope, but they won't be the same. You know what I mean? They were written to those beats.
Right.
You know what I mean? So even though you could flip them on anything, they're specific to that particular beat and flow. That's why everybody gravitate toward Love Rap like that. I mean, you can shit on Love Rap and that shit'll sound dope.
That's why fucking Public Enemy brought that shit back.
And so many other people, and people don't realize Love Rap wasn't a break beat. Love Rap was a rap record.
That was a rap record.
That was a Treacherous 3.
Don't give Spoonie G the credit that no, that was a Spoonie G straight song. The other side was Treacherous 3 and Spoonie G with the We Rock and Don't Stop. But that's that Love Rap, that was straight Spoonie G. And dude was like 16 years old at the time. 16 spitting game, telling niggas don't trick on britches and all this type of shit. You know what I mean? It might lead yourself, but boy, you been led. Ain't no girl that messed with you. Look around. She asking for your money. You think she's cool, man. She thinks she's funny. Homie was 16 at that time. I said, God damn, how the fuck you know game like that? He said his uncle or some shit. He used to be.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they put him up on game and shit. I said, wow, that's crazy. So shout out to Spoonie G. Real quick before I ask you some more shit. Grandmaster, why were people coming up with terms like Grandmaster? I could only realize, but where was it coming from? Where did y'all hear that and you said, you know what, that's some fly shit to name myself?
The original Grandmaster, as far as DJing or hip hop is concerned, was Grandmaster Flowers. Grandmaster Flowers was the DJ that preceded the hip hop generation. And Grandmaster Flash got his title or name from Grandmaster Flowers. Grandmaster is not a name, it's a title. it's a level of excellence. You know what I mean? And it's, you can use it in different things. Golf has a grandmasters. Martial arts have grandmasters. Chess have grandmaster. That means you the elite, you the top, you the best of the best. So when people were naming themselves, they try to name themselves something that kind of set them apart from everybody else. So you see the amazing such and such, or the original so and so, or the grand wizard, the grand
wizard, right?
Now, for me personally, Grandmaster Flash was the grandmaster of the hip hop generation. And for me, what it meant was not his name. His name was Flash. His title was Grandmaster. And for me, that meant a level of excellence. So, and because he's the fastest DJ on the turntables. So one night I'm in the club in the Bronx. I'm having a party. And I'm cutting up this record back and forth. My man Disco Wiz standing right next to me. He urging me on. The crowd is starting to bug because I'm like, uh-oh, I'm cutting it. He's like, yo, faster. I'm like, oh, shit. He's like, faster. I'm like, faster. He was like, faster. Then he started going, Grandmaster. And the crowd started going, Grandmaster. I was like, oh, shit. And it was like, I became a grandmaster. Right. I reached the, you know what I mean? And for me, it's like I started calling myself that. I felt like I was anointed, you know what I mean, that night. And then I took off from that night on. I instead of being DJ MC Casanova Fly, I was Grandmaster Casanova Fly.
Wow. So wait, just to be clear though, do you feel like anybody that named themselves Grandmaster or Grand Wizard did it out of any Masonic influences?
Not that I know of. I don't think anybody was that woke or informed at that time to think about the implications of the name, you know, they were using or bringing upon themselves. You know what I mean? So no, I highly doubt it.
Right, because I think, you know, some people have said stuff like that in the past, and I'm like, you know, we may be reaching a little too far. These are just young kids that like just want to have an exalted name.
Exactly. I mean, if you think Grand Wizard Theodore is a DJ, I mean, that's
right. Now Grand Wizard is in the
little bro.
Well, that's in the Ku Klux Klan.
Exactly. That's
right.
But if we were thinking on that level, we would never call ourselves the, you know,
right. Like my own brother, Grand Poobah. I mean, for goodness sake, he was going after somebody in the cartoon on the Flintstones.
Right. But
it's a name, like it just sounded like the high exalted mystic ruler, like
right.
So yeah, I get it. So listen, okay, so I want to talk about all right, boom, y'all together, y'all do just you got the routines and all of that, and y'all super tight as a crew. But you know, I guess in every crew, there's that one person that just stands out. That one person that just, you know, I don't know, man, just helps raise the bar. Like, you know what I mean? Like how LeBron get on a team and he just make everybody else better, like just from being around him. Like, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You seem to be that guy within your crew. Matter of fact, within that time, like, I don't know if you heard me say this before, but I credit 3 MCs probably in that era that was so nice that they helped hip hop move forward because they showed you the possibilities of what this shit could be. That would be Melly Mel, Kumo D, and yourself. In my opinion, honorable mention to a Spoonie G. But y'all three were at such a high level of storytelling and just imagery that you can paint with your lyrics and all of that. It was just crazy. Like you didn't know that rap could, that hip hop could do that type of shit that y'all was doing. Like even when you had people like Jimmy Spicer with super rhymes telling long, funny rhymes and shit like that, that was more, I guess, more geared to children, and we liked it, you know, especially little kids that were first being. But y'all shit had that edge. Y'all are fucking like cursing and you know, like let's talk about Yvette for a minute. Fuck it.
All right.
Let's get into Yvette. All right, now people's like, oh shit, this is fun seeing Lord Jamar have a fan out moment. You're goddamn right, I'm fanning out. All right, like you, they might have not seen me do this to many people because you were there for my hip hop formation. You see, you helped give me my love for hip hop. If it wasn't for people y'all like you, I could have heard this shit saying, it's cool. I don't really like that. I'm gonna go fuck with R&B or some shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
It was y'all that made me fucking hear it and stay and be obsessed with it. You know what I mean? I was obsessed with y'all shit. So that being said, let's just get into the mastery of a song, of a rhyme like Yvette. Now, I don't remember exactly how it starts. So let's just go with what I remember so far, and you can fill in the blanks, right? I can remember from where it starts, where it says, but I didn't know it then, so I called Yvette.
Wow, you missed a lot.
I know.
You missed the setup.
I know, to set it up for me, and then I'll take it from there.
All right, well.
I got a lot after that, but set it up. Because Yvette, if y'all haven't heard this, LL Cool J did Dear Yvette. It was based on, he loved this rhyme so much that he made a whole fucking song called Dear Yvette. So just give us the setup for Yvette, and I'm going to take it from there.
All right. It was a long time ago, but I never forget. I got caught in the bed with a girl named Yvette. Well, I was scared like hell, but I got away, and that's why I'm here talking to y'all today. I was outside of my school talking to this fox, crowd of people all around listening to my box. Just me and my fans and the rest of the crew chilling hard because we had nothing better to do. It was me, the L, the A, and the all. Then I slipped away to make a phone call. Same day it was a move I regret, but it didn't know it
then. So I called Yvette. I said, hello, pretty mama. It's Joe. Lover man. She said, baby, come on over as quick as you can. I said, I can't come now. Someone's coming to get me. She said, I'm all alone with nobody with me. I thought for a second, holy shit, she's alone. I was knocking on her door before she hung up the phone. Then she let me in the door and gave me a kiss. She said, give me that thing that you know I miss. So we went into a room and we got high, but she couldn't keep her hand from off my fly. It heard something at the door. We went to check it. I went to check it. When I came back in, the girl was naked. That was my cue to do. We took our clothes off and
I started on the pool.
I was tearing shit up about 2:45. She said, damn, somebody's coming. I said, yeah, me. Now, damn. Okay, now this is where I fuck up because one of my favorite parts was, damn, you could have waited till I finished my strokes, but I forget what you said before that. So now
I said, yeah, me, and then the door burst open and there was a folks.
Okay, so that was right after what I said right there.
Right.
So the door bust open and there was a folks. I said, damn, you could have waited till I finished my strokes. Her mother was in shock. Her father reached on a shelf, pulled down a 45, almost shit on myself. I said, please don't shoot, and pleaded my case. You would have done the same thing if you was in my place. If you spare my life, believe me, my friend, you'll never see me around your daughter again. Don't ask me why, but he let me be. I ran 26 blocks before I stopped to breathe.
Gave thanks to God he wasn't too upset and went home and thought about poor Yvette. He must have beat her ass with everything, I assume, because I could hear the girl screaming all the way in my room. And even though I don't see Yvette no more, I know she ain't as fine as she was before.
It's like that, y'all, and you don't stop. Yo! Now, first of all, how ill does a motherfucker's rhyme have to be that a motherfucker can remember the majority of it 40 years later? Literally, that was like 40 years ago.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, people, for 40 years, have been coming up to me, man, with with that rhyme or whatever. Like, yo, either do it or they do it for me or something like that, man. It's just a testament to the, what the rhyme does for people or what it did for people at a time. It's some shit you don't forget. And it was at a formidable time in our lives when something was dope, you remembered that shit. You know what I mean?
Right. Like the first time. Like that's kind of how I gauge a lot of MCs, though. Some of the dopest MCs is like, if I can't remember, if you play me a song and if I can't remember any of your lines, like the first time I hear the shit, I'm suspect about your shit. It's like you don't have that shit. You don't have it. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was the type of rhyme you hear that the first time. I guarantee you there's people that heard that rhyme for the first time right now and are like blown the fuck away. Like, holy shit, that was ill. He said some ill shit in there.
Will Smith is somebody else who heard Yvette back in the day and he made Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble.
Really?
Yeah, he said it.
Right. I can see that because man sharpens man, steel sharpens steel. Like you get an idea from, you hear one man's idea, and that can give you an idea that leads to a different idea. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's like an offshoot of that, but it's like a branch off the same tree. You know what I mean? It's just a tree, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna branch it. I'm gonna feed off this tree, but I'm gonna branch off this way. You know what I mean? That's what makes it a tree. So.
But the reason I wanted to highlight that one particularly because it's just so witty. It had humor. It dealt with sex and just being a young teenager. It was like, I had to do everything that was in that song. Like that happened to me. You know, not to the full extent, but yeah, I got caught in a broad crib and all of that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm feeling like Grandmaster Caz. I'm feeling like a real hip hop nigga.
Like this some Yvette shit, right?
This is a rite of passage. There's some Yvette shit going on, and I'm okay with it because this happened to Grandmaster Caz. If it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. But to say, Caz, somebody's coming. I said, yeah, me. Like, who the fuck says shit like this at whatever age you were? Like, this is what I'm saying. That level of writing and that level of wittiness, this is what made other people be like, yo, I got to get in on this hip hop shit. Like, that's crazy. Like, I want to do shit like what he's doing.
What made
you start writing like that?
It was a lot of people out here, man. And when I was DJing, I always had people MCs down with me, like Whipper Whip and Dada Rock. They was like some of my first MCs. And I knew that we were entering a realm where we were competing with other groups. It wasn't just DJ against DJ now. You know what I mean? Because I was nice with niggas on the DJ side, but now you got MCs that's representing your crew. And I just could do it too. You know what I mean? But at a high level. So ain't nobody gonna take out my MCs. Not while I'm here, nigga. Right. So that's pretty much kept me active with writing and on the mic. And with so many people doing it and it becoming competitive, I knew I got to come from somewhere that niggas ain't gonna come from. I got okay. You gonna write about a girl? Okay, well, watch this shit. I write about a girl. You know what I mean? And, niggas is talking about this and that. Watch how you know what I mean? And I just take it like to the fucking 10th power over whatever the fuck somebody's doing. You know what I mean? So that's where it comes from. It can't just be all right. It just can't be like just as good as yours. It got to be way better than your shit. You know what I'm saying?
See, another thing y'all did really well was to blend y'all's voices together. Now, y'all, I feel like y'all mastered what I would call nigga singing. Okay. and what I mean by nigga singing is, you got those real pretty singing motherfuckers that like are hitting these notes all perfectly and like, will sing falsetto. But then you got like niggas on the corner that's just singing together, although they can't really sing, but they're still singing because they feel like singing a song. Like
it's unharmonious harmony. Okay, that's what I refer to as
harmonious harmony. Yes,
it's not so much the harmony, but just voices together. That's just a strength. You know what I mean? And even if you're close to harmony, then you good. If it's 4 different voices and you're saying the same thing at the same time, then that's why we didn't call it singing. We called it routines.
Right.
We call it routine because we don't call ourselves singer. We know we can't sing. Maybe a couple of us could hold a note. You know what I mean? But us 4 together, we would have to actually practice to be in harmony. We just want to be in sync.
Right.
That was our shit. We want to be in sync. Like the Force MCs.
And that's what I didn't like about the Force MCs.
They sung. They were singing. That's what they was meant to do.
Right. But I didn't like
it. Sound phony. As singers, they sound real. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. But now
also, we try to be singers. We would sound phony because we don't have that harmony. We can't actually sing. You know what I mean? But as far as doing routines and shit like that, you can't fuck with it.
Hang on a second, right? Now, I love the brothers. I live out here on Staten Island.
I love them too, and happy birthday to Stevie D.
Right, happy birthday, Stevie D. And I was actually obsessed with the Force MCs at one point. But I gotta say, and tell me if you felt this way at the time. I was a little disappointed in them when they first got their record deal. The fact that everybody knew them in New York from like blowing up on the hip hop side of things. You know what I mean? And then when they did they got their deal, it looked like they was like, fuck hip hop. We're not even MCs, we're MDs, whatever an MD is. And yeah, we're gonna more sing. We'll give a little nod to hip hop. We'll throw y'all a little 8 bars, but like, I kind of feel like they didn't believe in hip hop enough. You know what I mean? Like where they thought the real money like they used hip hop as a stepping stone. And then when they got their deal, they kind of felt like, nah, we don't believe that that's even going to be around long enough. We want to get that big money and we're going to do this. And I think that was actually their downfall.
What I think it was is just the opposite. When they started becoming recording artists, that was their natural calling. When they became the Force MDs, that was their natural calling. They were missing 2 members when they were the Force MCs. When they were doing hip hop, they were missing their brother, TCD, TCD.
Oh, right. Yeah, he wasn't.
High Voice, he wasn't there, and Trisco wasn't there.
Right.
Okay, these are the rest of their group. They were a singing group. Okay, and then just Stevie and Mercury, they freestyle around, and Jesse did the Michael Jackson shit. So they was like a novelty, as far as hip hop is concerned. When they was dope is when they were doing singing routines. Right or wrong? When they rhymed, they were freestyling.
I'm just saying they were using hip hop as a medium to blow up. we didn't look at them as I didn't look at them as a singing group doing like over beats at that time. I looked at them as hip hop dudes that could sing. You know what I mean? I was like, these are some hip hop dudes that could sing. And I don't know. I just kind of felt like
No, these
they didn't
dudes
get
that
hip hop a
sing,
chance when they got it. I
these
feel
are dudes
like
that sing.
if they would have did a marriage more, you know what I mean? Like something like what Puffy did later with Mary J, they might have been on time with that. Hang on, you frozen. Back on the set. There we go. There we go.
There was a glitch in my matrix.
That's all right. That's all right. We got you back.
I mean, back to the brothers, man. I think they were talented as hell and used whatever was at their disposal at the time, you know, when their original plan, you know, because when they were singing on the ferry boat out there, you know what I mean? And throwing in a little hip hop here and there, but they were basically singers. You know, they come from a family of singers.
Right.
And they were able to adapt to hip hop. And then I think they find their natural calling when they got signed. That's how I see it anyway.
I don't know. I just felt like they should have stuck a little more with hip hop. Still did the singing, but just stayed a little more with hip hop. And I don't know. But it's neither here
nor there. It worked out the same way.
Yeah, it's neither here nor there. But y'all, again, y'all perfected, like you said, staying in sync rather than in harmony. So, and that's what I call more like nigga singing. So now, y'all made like regular hard niggas feel like they could sing. You see, without having to really sing.
Got you.
And that just opened up a door because, you know, a lot of times singing is looked at as soft. It's looked at as, you know, if you singing like Michael Jackson, then that high register, like that feels like soft guys sing like that.
Right.
But when you singing like, you know, my name is JD or JDL, I want to go to heaven before I go to hell. Like that's then a Duracell. Like
it's what you sing.
Nigga singing, yeah, and it's what you singing too. Like that shit just used to sound so hard. Asia, peace, Asia. We love you. Peace, Queen. Thank you. Oh yeah, we're gonna get this. Yeah, so it's what you singing, how you singing it, who you singing to. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
All of that.
Our content was hard, man. It was our message was you're not fucking with us. You know what I mean? And we said it in such a way that it's like, damn, I got you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Ain't like we gonna jump in.
Respect. It's time we put you in check 82.
There you go.
It's not that we're conceited. It's just that we defeated all of you.
You.
Why the MC just break up? You stand tall and make up the ultimate show.
And you know where that come from, right?
Of course. The Brothers Johnson. Dun, dun, dun,
Nah, that's Georgie Porgy.
Oh, right.
It's Toto.
You said Toto.
Yeah.
Right. I got my shit mixed up. But see, that was like, and that song was semi-contemporary at that time. You see, it was cutting edge to even fuck with a song like that. Like
it just fit when you writing and you thinking, you know what I mean? And now you thinking routine wise, you're not thinking, you know, lyric wise, you know what I mean? Because you write lyrics, rhymes, and then you write routines. And routines are written to a theme. You either make up one, you know what I mean, use some old, you know, something that's familiar to people and just, you know, make it new, you know what I mean? Or come up, with some old fly shit, like that.
You had to join to the Cats in the Cradle and the Silver Spoon.
Harry Chapin. Okay, now who the fuck is doing routines off of Harry Chapin
That's
stuff?
what I'm saying. Like that.
Gilbert O'Sullivan. You know what I mean?
That's what made it so crazy, because I used to like that song. My moms used to play that song when I was a little kid. And now here y'all doing a hip-hop routine off of that. I was like, yo.
Off so-called white boy songs.
Right, but you niggered it up. You turned it. You just give me that. I'm gonna show you how to turn that white boy song into some super black shit.
Well, which is really some black shit anyway. You know what I mean? I just took it back.
Right, it's some black shit in America, right? To take
the first place,
given and just, you know what I mean?
The music that like I said, that music is music that they got from us in the first fucking place, and just translated into a different genre. You know what I mean? All music come from us. So I'm not using nothing that ain't, you know what I mean, ours. And if you look at it as far as the universe of music, music is music, wherever the fuck you get it from. But some of our influences are a little wider than others, or, I just reached a little further back because we all grew up listening to Barry Manilow and fucking Tracy Jackson and all that shit, whether on purpose or by default. I mean, so if it stuck with you, it stuck with you. If it didn't, it did. It stuck with me. So I was also Carlton Banks shit as far as hip hop and what I was gonna say to this shit. I reached back there, and it just happened to be effective. At least I wanted to be different. Like I said, I don't want to just do some cornball shit anybody gonna do.
Well, here's the thing. Like if I really think about it right now, right? What you did right there, fast forward, gave us the license to fuck with a sample like Slow Down. Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians. That's a white boy song.
Yeah.
That's some white boy shit. But see, the fact that Grandmaster Caz did some shit like that in the past and made it hip hop.
And made it like it could be done.
It showed it could be done.
Right.
Did the shit with the sometimes I rhyme slow. You see what I'm saying? Like this is how foundations are laid. You see what I'm saying? And we build upon those foundations that were laid before us. So I'm telling you, definitely, and I don't know if we consciously said, you know what, Caz did that, so now let's do this. But I'm as I think about it now, it definitely had to be there subconsciously. You know what I mean? Subconsciously, we was like, oh yes, this is absolutely legal because some of the greats in hip hop have already done this shit. Like, you know what I mean? They showed us the way that this was possible. Even the fact that y'all was using like, and I'm not just saying y'all, I'm just saying old school hip hop. Y'all was using break beats like the Big Beat, which was Billy Squier.
Like
rock and roll record. Like, how the fuck did y'all even find that fucking beat in the first place? Like, I don't know what the story is behind that, but I remember being surprised to find out, oh shit, that's a rock record. Like the first time I ever, heard that shit play out and all of that, I was like, wow.
If you listen to a lot of the songs, early breakbeat music and all the stuff that niggas made records off of, either a lot of them white groups or integrated groups with whites, half of the band.
Right.
I mean, so it's not strange, for that to work. You know what I mean? I just saw it. I didn't separate it. I just felt like if this shit is cool to me, if I've been walking around with this music in my fucking mind and in my fucking heart all these fucking years, you know what I mean? It gotta apply here as well. It gotta apply. Now, I don't expect everybody to start listening to WABC and going back listening to 70s classic, rock songs and shit like that, like I do, filling up your iPod with that. But if you listen to some of the dopest shit that you listen to, that's where a lot of that shit come from as well. You know what I mean? And I guess me or us or some of us were some of the first to see that, realize it, and materialize it into hip hop.
So y'all, y'all the hottest fucking thing on the streets. Everybody loves the Cold Crush. Eventually, of course, a record company is gonna come calling. I mean, I remember really rooting for y'all in my mind, like, because you see in other groups making records and shit like that. I'm like, when is Cold Crush gonna make a fucking record? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I need y'all to make a record. Like, what's going on? Like, and finally, I feel like, am I right to feel like this? Was it kind of that? Do I feel like y'all was a little overdue?
No, we were way overdue. The thing was,
Wait, not to cut you off, but Fresh Wild Flying Bowl, was that y'all's first record?
no, that was our third record.
What was your first record?
The Weekend.
Oh, right.
The Weekend.
Okay.
We used to come out on stage on, The Weekend, and then we did punk rock rap, and then we did Fresh Wild Flying Bowl.
Okay.
All right. So we were in no hurry to make a record. We were just by 80, like I said, 80, we went in the lab. 80 is when people was, Rappers Delight and all that other shit, and Christmas rapping and all these, joints started to come out, and Enjoy records started popping, so everybody started running down to Enjoy, the Funky Four, the Furious Five, and all that. So we was the ones that was popping in the street. So like 81, 82, 83, nigga, it was us. So we wasn't in a hurry to get a record deal because we didn't feel like we had to.
Was y'all getting tape money? Was y'all getting the money off?
We was getting tape money. We was getting, our fee went up because we became a top group. In New York. I mean, after the battle with the Fantastic in 81, which they won, but the group kind of dismantled after that. It was all about us till like on into 84 when, okay, now you got to have a record, nigga.
Right.
Shit, you know what I mean? And nobody really came at us credibly. We didn't want to join the Enjoy roster because it was like 7 niggas already down, crews already down with them.
Right.
It wasn't a lot of other options. Sugar Hill, that's where Hank was. Hank never looked back after, joining, the Sugar Hill gang, and
we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about that in a minute. So that wasn't an option. That's not somewhere I would have wanted to go neither. And
they made whack records over there anyway. I didn't.
They were everybody knows. Everybody says and agrees all that shit was trash. Most of that early shit was trash, especially the Sugar Hill shit was trash. And when they first heard it, everybody was, get the fuck out of here. Now people way on the other, somewhere else was like, wow, what the hell is that? Like, what's that? You know what I mean? But niggas who've been doing that shit for a while, like, what the fuck?
It don't sound like the tapes, like, but at the same time, yo, you took what you can get. You understand what I'm saying? Like the fact that there was hip hop at all.
At all, yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna settle for it, but I'm not really happy that they're trying to play over, Daisy Lady or whatever fucking break they're trying to play. Like I know what the break beats sound like, and this shit don't sound as good as when they're cutting up them fucking records. I don't understand about samples and all that though. I didn't know that you can't just take somebody else's record and put it on.
Right.
I'm just thinking, like, why are they not doing the tapes? What they do on tape.
That kind of was. our demise or downfall, we were never able to translate that tape energy to records.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Now, had it been a tape thing, we'd have won. We'd have still
Right.
been out here. You know what I mean? But it was you had to conform. You know what I mean? Okay, your shit got to be like this. You got to be bars. You got to be a bridge. You got to be a this. It got to be an intro. You can't say this. You can't talk about this. You can't use this sample. You can't sing that because then we got. You know what I mean? All that shit that we did was based on, you know, samples and shit, and everybody else was doing it. And then when we went to do it, we couldn't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every record we made had to be, you know, subverted into some other shit because it couldn't be what we wanted it to be. Can't use that. Can't take that. You can't sing that. Know what I mean? Like before Biz got sued by Gilbert O'Sullivan, we would have got sued.
Mm. Right.
I mean, we would have got sued. That was our routine. Barry Manilow would have sued us. Simon and Garfunkel would have sued us. Terry Jacks would have sued us. Motherfucker.
Right, but they would have only sued y'all if y'all had a hit and it got on their radar.
Oh,
So
it would have been. They would.
Well, yeah. Well, this is what I'm saying. Sometimes that's a good problem to have. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like, all right, we're gonna cross that bridge when we get to it, but let's at least get a fucking hit and then worry about who's gonna sue us and if we gotta split some bread with these motherfuckers or whatever. You can't get blood out of it.
We didn't have the option. We didn't have the option.
Right. I'm sure that, I'm sure they was not gonna let.
We just said, fuck it. We just said, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's whatever. You know what I mean? Because other niggas was doing, however they was doing it, other niggas was doing it. I mean, if you had a band play it over or whatever, niggas was getting way closer to it than we was. And then after a while, niggas was just sampling and using niggas sample. I'm looking at these niggas like, what? And we couldn't do this? We couldn't do this? You was telling us don't curse, don't.
Right, but now that's all they're doing is cursing.
You know what I
mean? Right.
So we in our in a way.
Timing is everything too. You know what I mean?
True that.
Like
we were before our time.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Things that you wanted to do. I remember, you know, back in the days, you know, we was managed by like Russell Simmons and Leor Cohen and all these niggas, right? And I remember talking to this nigga Leor about, you know, like some show production, like how to make the show dope. And I was like, yo, we should have some shit where like we have a screen in the back and like we have images that sync up with the music and all that. And he's like, nah, you can't do that. Like it doesn't work, like, and all this type of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like I guess at that time the technology wasn't really for that. But now all I gotta do is fucking bring my laptop to the fucking venue, press play and the shit, and you can have some shit that's synced up to your music and do exactly what the fuck I was talking about doing.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? But my idea might have been ahead of the time for the technology that was around or whatever the case may be.
True.
So you might have suffered from a little bit of that. But I just remember really rooting for y'all and feel like, damn, I want to see the Cold Crush be just as successful on record as they are, you know, on tapes. But, you know, it's not always in the cards like that. You know what I mean? For certain people, that's kind of how I felt like maybe it was something like that. Like I didn't fully understand what was going on. Like,
well, see, whenever there's, you know, you don't fully understand, then there's something left to understand. And pretty much once you look at a situation and you see a group like us who are at our peak, you know what I mean, and who influence so many other groups to not, you know, be able to, you know, cross that, you know, particular line, that there's usually a reason behind it. I know for a minute, you know, for a while we were branded as, you know, unruly or, you know, like not really wild, because I don't consider, you know, we never really been wild, but like industry wise, you know, we was young kids. We was, you know, this is us, nigga. And that might have played a little bit of a part of, you you know, what, you know, where we went and where we didn't go from there.
Was that branding warranted?
Huh?
Was that branding warranted at the time? Was y'all a little bit wild? Was y'all
not compared to hell no.
No, not compared to some of these other motherfuckers.
Hell no. And I don't know what it was. You know, sometimes you could have fucked somebody girl and now they in power and such and such. I mean, anything, man. It's a lot of shit, man, that happens and that doesn't happen for reasons that are beyond your immediate comprehension. But there's a reason for everything. And when you see these reasons why something should be, and you can't find no reason why not, then there's a reason. There's other reasons that we just don't know about. And that goes for me as well. I don't know. To this day, people are like, yo, nigga, you know who you are? No, you should have, you know how many times niggas walk up, yo, nigga, you should be yo, nigga, they should, yeah, I know, should. What you think is me? Think I did something to fuck it up or something? Fuck out of here. You know, shit, something I ain't got nothing to do with, or inadvertently did or didn't do that, you know, and that's what it is.
What label were y'all signed to?
The first label was Elite, and it was a label started by the hip hop promoter Arthur Armstrong, who used to own the Ecstasy Garage. And he became a promoter, and we started doing shows in and around the tri-state area with him. And he started Elite Records just to put out a record on us. And he had a band concept and still was on some disco type shit. So the record that was supposed to be Those Shoes by the Eagles off the Long Run album, that doo-doom, 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 PMD and use on and all that.
Yeah.
That's what The Weeknd was supposed to be. It wound up being some band playing, yeah, I mean, just threw our whole shit off. So that was corny. And then we had this concept thing, punk rock rap. We was just fucking around in the studio. And this nigga was like, hey, that'll work. Do that, such and such. So I wrote up this whole shit, this little thing. We did this punk rock rap routine. Boom, CBS signs it. CBS signs the fucking label. First fucking hip hop or independent label signed as affiliate to CBS, right? Mm-hmm. They find out that we black later on, and they dropped the motherfucking label.
Wow.
So then we had to drop it independently on Tough City label. But
you see, and I don't really remember punk rock rap and so.
Well, it's good because it's not,
right. But I bet you I heard it back then, and I probably was like, "Oh, please, brother, don't do this to me."
It was fun. It was fun to do, but it was like,
that's why when Fresh, Wild, Fly, and Bold came out, I kind of liked that record. Like I liked the beat. I was like, okay, like. I felt like y'all could build off of that. Y'all could have built more off of that right there, because that joint was a solid record. It rocked good in the party and all of that type of shit. Like it was a solid fucking record. I liked it.
That was the best representation of the Cold Crush on
wax. Yes,
absolutely. That was the best representation of us on wax. You know, everything else was like well, let's try this or let's try that, or you know what I mean? And we had no direction.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we a lot of these cats, you know, got into a machine. When they got signed to a label, it was a machine. I mean, and the machine is gonna guide you through the steps. Or you just go in that studio right there, do what the fuck you do. All right, get out, let the producer and the engineer take care of the rest. Boom. Now go over here to wardrobe. Get dressed. You're gonna have to start doing some motherfucking interviews and this and this and that. And then you're gonna suck. I mean, motherfuckers guide you through and walk you through a lot of this shit that nigga we was left to our own fucking devices, huh? A tour bus, huh?
Let's talk about wardrobe real quick.
Y'all niggas had a bus?
a lot of people talk shit about old school rappers that was dressing like Parliament Funkadelic. Did y'all ever get into that?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. You
Ah,
know, we did. Knock it off. All right. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
yes, we did.
Basically, we had an excuse. Punk rock rap. The song we did in '82, punk rock rap. We were trying to kind of bridge the energy between the punk rap movement that was going on downtown, in the clubs downtown, with the hip hop that was going on up here.
I mean, isn't
So,
that what Bam and them was trying to do?
yeah,
with
exactly,
and-
exactly, exactly. So that's how punk rock rap came about.
I was disappointed in Planet Rock when it first came out too. I got to be honest with you. I don't
As
know how you
a
felt
hip
about
hop song, I was too, but just as a joint,
it. Right.
it was crazy.
Right. Oh, it was crazy. Like, but again, I'm used to hearing yes, y'all, to the beach, y'all. Like. I was listening to Zulu Nation tapes. You know what I mean? I know what Mr. Big and Pow Wow and all these niggas sound like on those tapes. You see? And so now when they came with that whole style like that, I was just like, I'm just, to me, the best part was at the end when it was like, when it had the break, it was like, gotta rock and don't stop. And they had that little break at the very end that they never let the record play long enough to even hear that anymore. But
you gotta understand,
part.
when we started making records, man, this was like records is something else. You know what I mean? Now the best thing and is to just do whatever the fuck you do live when you go into the studio. But to us, it was a different world. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, now this ain't this. This a record now.
Right. So now you got to do something different. That's what
right. So, right, exactly. And it was that kind of environment, and it wasn't the kind of environment that bred creativity, that brought out your creativity. It was an environment that was like, well, this is what people will groove to. This is what people like, or this is what, you know what I mean. This is, you need a theme. You need a, instead of just going out and just being who the fuck we are.
See, it was so new that y'all didn't know. Like y'all couldn't say, there was no frame of reference where you could say, well, listen, Run DMC fucking sampled the record and did this and blah blah blah, and they fucking wore their regular clothes. And look, these motherfuckers, you know what I mean, blew the fuck up. Now they're the hottest things since sliced bread. There wasn't nothing like that you could point to. You understand what I'm saying? So when these motherfuckers is telling you this shit, and you're new to the game, you almost gotta listen to the shit. Like, I guess you're right. I mean, all I know about is making tapes and shit and doing parties. Like, we making records now, and y'all is the experts at this shit.
Yeah, and we didn't have good guidance. You know what I mean? If we would have got somebody, our cats like bring a group like New Edition together and teach them what to do and polish them and
right.
You know what I mean? That type, by the time they come out, these niggas, you know what I mean? We didn't have none of that. But back to the wardrobe part of it, we started dressing that way partly because of the punk rock rap thing and partly because of the Furious Five, who were like the most influential, hip hop group in hip hop. And when they started going on tour and then coming back, they had a whole, rock star kind of look and persona because they had been out on tour with like Cameo and the Barcades and Parliament and them guys. So they see what real rock stars look like. They see what entertainers out, who do real shows in arenas and shit like that look like.
Coming back with spike belts and boots.
Exactly. So they come back with that rock star shit. You know what I mean? And it was like, okay, let's go. You know what I mean? So,
not to cut you off, but when you were left to your own devices before all of that, when it was just the tapes, think about the shit that y'all was wearing. What y'all chose to wear. Y'all chose to wear some gangster shit.
Well, I was always gonna put fly guy shit, man. It's never an accident when you see me dressed. You know what I mean? And I tried to incorporate that with the group. Like you can't give nobody personal style, but you know what I mean. But you can give the group a look. You know what I mean, a uniform look.
Yes.
So we felt like that gangster persona was the persona we were bringing to the table as far as the battle was concerned, because they were the pretty boys.
Now, was those fake guns y'all holding, or was those?
Yeah, those are fake guns.
Okay. See, because back then we wasn't sure.
And you wanted to believe that they were. You wanted to believe that they were real, though.
I wanted them to be real, kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, the Cold Crush, these niggas be having Tommy guns and all kind of shit. Like,
I'm trying to bust your bubble, but
all right, so listen, let's get into a story that, you know, is famous to some people, but maybe some people are not aware of. Let's talk about that whole Sugar Hill Gang situation, Big Bank Hank, your connection to him, and he had your rhyme book and he fucked around and said your rhymes on one of the biggest fucking hip hop songs, you know, of all time, maybe. How did all of that happen? Saying he was a bodyguard or something at the time?
He was a doorman. He was a doorman, like at
doorman.
Wrong. So security / doorman.
Got you.
And we connected. I used to go to the club when I wasn't performing, and we just got cool. So this is at the time when I had my own group, my own crew, but I always had my set was always, you know, lacking something. You know, I always had a bullshit set. You know, I was nice. I mean, I had a little following, but my set couldn't compete with the big boys. So I approached Hank one day. I was like, yo, why don't you help manage my group? You know what I mean? And he agreed. And so he took out a loan from his parents for like 2 stacks. We reinforced our sound system, big speakers, all that, this and that. We ready to go now. But we wasn't making bread yet. He had to start making them payments, you know what I mean, based on an agreement that he had with his parents or whatever. So he got a job in a pizza shop in New Jersey. He used to take a little boombox to work with him with our tapes in them. And when I say our, I'm like me, you know what I mean, Whip a Whip, Dada Rock, you know, those tapes, Casanova Fly tapes, because I wasn't down with the Cold Crush yet. A lot of people think he used to manage the Cold Crush, but this was before the Cold Crush.
Right.
So he's in the pizza shop making pizzas and shit. I never went to the pizza shop, as a matter of fact. And people coming in and out of the pizza shop figure, oh, wow, this dude, you know, he must be one of those hip hop guys, or he can rap or whatever. Now, but
why did they think that?
Because he lip syncing to the tape. You know, what's going on the tape, you know, he walking around saying it along with the rock. So, you know, they figure he can rap.
Got you.
So Sylvia is out in Jersey looking for people to rap. She sent Joey and them out to look for cats who could rap, because she seen Lovebug Starsky at the Apollo and was like, yo, I want that on records. I want to do that. So long story short, they pull up at the pizza shop. They hear about Hank. They tell him to come outside to the car. They got a beat playing in the car. They want him to like audition. Now, instead of Hank telling them, yo,
I got my man know that rhyme.
Right. Instead of him saying, nah, I don't rhyme, but I manage Casanova Fly.
Right.
He never said that. You know what I mean? He just got in the car, said my shit. They loved it. They put him on right there, made him part of Sugar Hill Gang. You know what I mean? By the time he came back to me and was like, yo, niggas want me to make a record. I'm like, what? Who the fuck would want you to make a record all these niggas out here, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, this sounds so foreign to me. I'm not even taking it serious. I'm like, really? So he's like, yo, this and that. So I'm like, all right, do you, man? Whatever you gonna do, man. You know, make it happen. So it wound up being Rapper's Delight. You know, and the thing was that the nigga just never came back. Like he never looked back after doing that. After the song came out, and I ain't see a nigga for like 3 years.
So
there was no agreement made about, you know what I mean, the lyrics. I don't know. Sylvia and the rest of the Sugar Hill Gang just assumed that those was Hank's lyrics. You know what I mean? And they took, you know, the publishing from them just like they would have took it. I guess would have tried to take it from me had it been mine, or you know, and the rest of the group.
Right.
Which is what they, you know, did eventually anyway. But yeah, as far as Hank is concerned, me and him never like, that was it. We never resolved nothing. I moved on. You know, I did my Cold Crush thing and whatever. And, you know, he did his Sugar Hill thing until, you know, he passed away. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Big Bag Hank. But so he never, as a man, felt like, yo, bro, like I blew up off your shit. Like here's, you know, I'm doing mad show. Like here's something, anything, nothing. Like no kind of nothing.
Nah.
Wow.
Nah.
Wow.
Nah.
That's kind of
like he couldn't, you know, like he couldn't find me or nothing like that. You know what I mean? It's like he tried to avoid me at all costs. You know what I mean? Because everybody around me, especially, you know, knew the deal, knew what was up.
They said the Casanova legend must have been true.
Exactly. And here go the funny shit. Here go the funniest shit about it, right? The rhyme, the third verse that he say, right?
Mm-hmm.
He go, from the time I was only 6 years old, I never forget what I was told was the best advice that I ever had. Came from a wise and dear old dad. Said, listen, son, I want to talk to you. Don't say a word until I'm through. Now, you know the rhyme, right?
Mm-hmm.
Time to laugh and time to cry, time to break time. He said, well, whatever you do in your lifetime, never let an MC steal your rhyme.
Yeah.
Now, this is the rhyme that he stole.
How ironic, right?
How ironic, okay?
The rhyme where you say never let an MC steal your rhyme. This nigga said, you know, that's the perfect rhyme to steal.
Exactly.
I'ma steal that one.
You know what I mean? And all my shit is facts, and you can trace my rhymes back to me. You know, even if it's not
I can hear your DNA in how and how it's written and all of that. Like once it was revealed to us that you did that, it was like absolutely, I see it all day. Like didn't he spell out Casanova, all kind of shit like in there? Like the shit is crazy. Like the shit was crazy. Like
now, and see, nobody else said no shit on that level. You know what I mean? Nobody else rhymes was, you know, they was like, yeah, Scooby Doo and did Bob.
Guess what? See, that's what I'm saying. His shit was like hotel, motel. Like that's some. Come on.
Yeah, he bit the best shit he could find. And
satisfy you with his little worm, but I'm gonna bust you out with my super sperm. I'm gonna do it.
Yo, I just found the tape where I'm doing that rhyme, man.
Wow.
I just found it.
I'm going to do
back in the day.
Where
they was like, yo, well, you ain't trying to go to court for that shit. I was every time I try to get a lawyer to fuck with that shit, man, they you know, they bitch up or they be like, nah. Well, you know, I don't really you know what I mean? Nobody really wanted to address that shit. You know what I mean? You know, wasn't no Londell Millins back then.
Right.
You know.
I mean, we're here now. I mean, you know. I don't know. What you call it is Sugar Hill allegedly is notorious for,
Well, shit wasn't just me,
publishing. Oh yeah, a whole bunch of people.
you know. And the thing was fucked up, man, is that our people have been plagued by this music industry, and it's starting to come out a little now with with the movies and documentaries and people becoming a little more woke and awake and reading the signs and seeing the signs and seeing people like Prince and Michael even on their level talking about the fucking evils of the music industry and shit like that. So nobody stops to really hip you to that shit when you get in that shit, man. It's like this shit has happened to us over and over and over again. And even when we get into positions of power where we could change the narrative, we go along with the fucking program and do the same thing to our people that everybody been doing to us. And the cycle, just never fucking stops. There's no reason why motherfuckers, getting 360 deals and shit like that, you know what I mean? After seeing all the other shit you go through, because ain't nobody passing down the fucking knowledge, man.
Right.
Like, hold on. Nah, you ain't got to do that. You know what I mean? Here's your alternatives. Here's this and that. Just go independent. Wait, let a nigga come to you. This and that. Don't do, nobody ain't telling nobody none of that. So that's why niggas still getting jerked in record deals. People publishing still getting stolen and accosted and shit like that, and subterfuged and all that type of shit, man. And that shouldn't still be happening.
I feel like they purposely create a age barrier. You see, they try to make put the old versus the new. So now it seems like there's a war going on amongst ages, and now we can't transmit our information to the coming generation because they don't want to hear it, because they're trying to play us like, they just some old hating niggas. They mad that they not getting the money that we getting now, and blah 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 blah, and they just want to tell me some shit, and they hating on me and all this other type of shit. Like
no, exactly.
That's the type of narrative they'll feed into their mind, and vice versa. They'll be like, these little young niggas. To us, they'll be like, these little young niggas ain't doing real hip hop and blah 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 blah, and fuck these little. They don't give a fuck about, you know what I mean? And so they just try to do that divide and conquer thing, so that
and it's still working.
To give up
on both sides of the fence, it's still working because you still got that attitude. And besides the divide that the crack generation caused, we got a natural divide, between generations. That's, an unnatural divide between generations that, shouldn't even be there. The recovery period. Hip hop. Your life in hip hop, as far as a recording artist, is like shorter than a motherfucking football player. By the time it's like a car. All right, we're gonna give you a 3-year lease, a 5-year lease, whatever. After 5 years here, you own it. It's your car. Think about 5 years, that car ain't worth shit. It's at the end of its life. It's no good. You know what I'm saying? Of course you can have it after fucking 5 years. You done paid for it 3 times.
Right.
If you're a football player, yeah, you can rock out. We're gonna pay you this and that, such, this and that. But niggas is already looking past you because you ain't gonna be here but only a few years. Okay? And we can't have them older niggas who done got played and this and that, know the game around here fucking with y'all, teaching y'all what's up. So they got to go. We got to create a divide between y'all. Man. Hip hop is the only fucking music where they do that shit. It's
right.
Period. Even in football, in sports, anything, they had the older niggas, come back, man, be coaches, come back, guide these niggas, show them, be an example, They don't do that shit. They keep us far away from each other through those, those means that you spoke about earlier.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, in sports, they'll bring them back to be analyst, whatever kind of shit. Like,
you know what I mean? All that. But this is the only culture. It's like, okay, out with the old, in with the new.
Right, but that's some bullshit, and we have to not go for it. Like first of all, I know for a fact. I heard, what film was it? What film we were in together? Ice-T's film,
The Art of Rap.
The Art of Rap. The Art of Rap was, I don't know how many years ago, not even 10 years ago. But I remember specifically you were in that movie spitting like new lyrics, like right now lyrics. Like I know you probably, if I put you on the spot, you'd have some shit right now to say, like, because you love this shit as an MC. You know what I mean? And you still do it at a certain level that, if somebody wanted to, if one of these motherfuckers wanted to summon your skills or whatever, I'm sure you would be ready. And it's a shame because I know actually a few years ago that did happen, but it was the white guy that does it instead of one of our black kings. Am I correct? Didn't what you call it, Macklemore or something put you in?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
ironic to me.
You know what? It's just I mean, it's part of the narrative that, like I said, that hasn't been, that we need to correct. I mean, this guy comes out of left field and people try to claim, yeah, well, he just want to be credible, so he gonna go get the true nigga. And nigga just won 2 Grammys. Okay. He didn't need our validation going into his sophomore album. Okay.
Well, he kind of did, though. He kind of did.
If he was going to,
he wanted, part of them, see, that be the thing. Like sometimes money and all of that is not enough for them. For some of these white dudes, they really want to know that, like, the black people, that the art form that they love, like, has some love for them back. Or
Agree. A lot of people don't know the cat's background, you know what I mean? And as far as hip hop and following hip hop and this and that, I didn't know. We didn't know. We just, all right. That type shit, check look good, opportunity look good. Let's do it. You know what I mean? We doing a song about fucking mopeds, you know what I mean? Like, we thought we was gonna come out here and spit, you know what I mean, or whatever. But I mean, he hired us to, to do something, and we did it. I was just glad that it brought me, Mel, and Mo together.
Right.
I mean, one thing, and kind of.
How come like Jay-Z or somebody didn't do that a long time ago, or any one of these big icon dudes that that we look up to, that definitely came up on your shit. You know what I mean? Well, Jay-Z said, I'm overcharging niggas for what they did to the Cold Crush. You know what I mean? Well,
yeah.
Oh, wow. Let's overpay the Cold Crush. You see?
Well, I mean, people put, kind of read too much into that verse. Jay does tribute to things and to people in his verses, you know what I mean? And it doesn't mean necessarily he gonna, there's an action that he's gonna take behind it or whatever. So basically, the line is
saying, why not? Why are we letting?
I wholeheartedly agree. Why?
You know what I mean? Like I could almost guarantee that Jay-Z knows a lot more about Cold Crush tapes than Macklemore. If Macklemore does know, he's just finding out. He did his homework, but he didn't come up on the shit the way I came up on the shit. You understand what I'm saying? No he doubt. Don't know Yvette the way I know Yvette. Okay?
No doubt.
So I'm just saying, like, why does it? And I'm not pinpointing just Jay-Z. I'm saying there's a whole lot of rappers that could have did it, that was in a certain position of, really big, like, you know what I mean? And now they're in a position to reach back and say, you know what? Let me, you know what I mean? Do some shit for the people that inspired me coming up. See, because that's what the white boys will do to their rock legends and shit like that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they do that shit all day.
Country
you know what I mean?
does the same thing, and pretty much every other genre of music honors their elders and shit like that. But
Rod Stewart could be making some shit, you know what I mean, next month or whatever with a new group, like, you know what I mean. Oh, we always loved Rod Stewart. You know what I mean? Like, but so how come we not doing that shit? And all I'm saying is, well, why are we allowing other people to come inside the culture that necessarily weren't there in its infancy, and now doing things that we, basically making us look bad by doing shit that we should have been doing. That's all I'm saying. Like he shouldn't have been the first one to do that. Somebody,
but maybe that's what it needed. That's what we needed, for them to see that not even that we can't let other people do for us, but we should be doing for our own.
Right. Well, I'm here to shame motherfuckers right now. You know what I mean? And if y'all, whoever y'all in power and you not trying to reach back to pay homage to those that fucking sharpened your skills and inspired you to do what you doing, come on, man. That's some bullshit.
I mean, we do it all the time in the music because
50,000 up in the strip club. You can throw 50,000 up in the strip club, but you can't. You know what I mean? You can't hire one of the legends and just give him 50,000 for 16 bars. You know what I mean? You're gonna haggle and all kind of shit. Make them feel like you're doing them a favor for 10 G's or some shit like that. Like, come on, yo.
Yeah, not enough of that. And we still walking around, we watching cats, you know what I mean?
Shame on you.
With motherfucking stacks of money and videos.
And like the phone and all this dumb shit.
All that. Nah, man. Nigga, this shit. And they was talking about establishing some kind of fund, you know what I mean, for niggas.
A union or something. Exactly. Overdue. We need some sort of hip hop union, like specifically. You know what I mean? Shit where you motherfuckers get insurance, all of that type of shit.
Yeah, well, that's gonna take a minute, and a lot of input from the corporate side, the niggas who got it. Man, I mean, you can't. Every time there's something that needs to be done for the people, it needs to be done by the people, like on a grassroots level. Whereas there's a few of you motherfuckers that can make this shit happen by yourself.
Right.
Y'all can fund this shit yourself and don't even blink.
Yeah, you could. That's a fact.
You know what I mean? So
big fact.
If somebody wanted to do something, they would. And at the end of the day, you see it or you don't.
Well, man, Caz, I feel like I could have you here all night, man. I don't want to. You've been more than gracious with your time, God.
No doubt. I told you.
Probably gonna, just need you to double back another time. You know what I mean? Just be a friend to the show and just come on through when we need that, that real legendary hip hop fucking perspective. You know what I mean?
No doubt. I mean, I got you.
And don't be giving no interviews to that nigga Vlad.
Oh yeah, I already heard. He already fucked me, man. When I did the interview, he put the fucking headline up. Caz disrespects all new rappers. Like, really, motherfucker? Really, motherfucker?
Because he going for that bullshit. You know what I mean? Like he goes nasty.
Like if anything like came from that, I'd definitely go see that nigga or address that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I think it's shown clear that wasn't my message.
Yeah, well, we get the interviews here that he can't get, and we don't even care about the type of shit he dealing with, crime and all that type of shit. We documenting real, you know what I mean?
Right.
Music and real, B1 issues, things of that nature. You know what I mean? So, people on this channel can definitely appreciate and love who you are because they remember. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them actually had the tapes or some of them was there. Um and yeah.
Yeah, our audience, man. If we still here, then that means some of our audience is still here as well. And they tend to write off a whole generation of people. Like, where the fuck you think we went? You know what I mean? The people who created the foundation of this culture, where you think they went?
Now, real quick,
An MC, but the crowd, the audience, the motherfuckers who grew up on this shit, where you think they went? They
right.
still here. They just got older.
Exactly. So don't act like, and see, that's why I feel like my show and everything, I'm catering to that. I'm catering to they're trying to like just sweep us under the hip hop rug and like forget about us. Nah, we still here. Like, and we got music that we want to hear and all of that. Like, I feel like there's definitely a market for our age group of hip hop. You know what I mean? Because yes, hip hop is still growing. And so now you got hip hop grandfathers and shit like that. It is what it is. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I'm a grandfather, but I'm still a hip hop nigga. Like, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But before I let you go, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the movie Wild Style.
Ah,
Somebody just said earlier, they said, can you help save Wild Style Park or some shit like that? But let's talk about the movie Wild Style because that was the shit. I remember going to see that on the Deuce. I remember seeing y'all in there, fucking Busy Bee, fucking, a whole bunch of people in that movie. Tell me about your involvement in that, how you got involved, you know, and just your whole experience with that.
I mean, Wild Style was like the kind of the stamp, for me that yeah, the world's gonna love this shit. Like if they paying this much attention to it, if these people want to come up here and document this shit, you know what I mean, then it's real. I wasn't wasting my time. I mean, this shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
So when Fred Pop Freddy and Charlie Aaron, they came up to the Bronx and approached us after they had spoken to like the Funky Four and Busy Bee, and they became aware that this wasn't just one group. This was a movement that was going on.
Right.
So then they started, checking out the parties and come to venues and this and that. Started putting the movie together, and we was in, man. And like I said, for me, it was like a stamp of approval that yeah, this shit is real. I went down the right path. I wasn't wasting my time. And everybody was saying, "Oh, you ain't gonna never get nowhere doing that shit. What you doing, spinning on the floor, fucking up your clothes?" You know what I mean? All that shit went down the drain when a nigga said, "Come on, we're gonna make this movie." So that's what it was for me. And then the experience, like you said, of going down to the Deuce and sitting in the movie theater and seeing yourself come up on that screen. I mean, it's something that you can't. That shit is. It's unforgettable. You know what I mean? I can't even describe that shit.
And see, it wasn't me on the screen, but it was me. It was all of us on the screen. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, for you, it was you personally, but for hip hop, it's like hip hop had made it like, but real hip hop had made it because again, I feel like movies like Beat Street and Breaking and all of that. To me, that was like the visual equivalent of Sugar Hill Records. Like it was the visual equivalent of whack. That's not really hip hop to me. Like that's not what hip hop really looks like or sounds like. But again, we're gonna take whatever we can get right now because hip hop is so scarce that even when you give me this bullshit, I'm gonna take it begrudgingly, but I'm still gonna take it. You understand?
But Wild Style was cool.
Style was raw. It looked and sounded the way that we knew hip hop to really sound and look. You know what I mean? So that's what made to me why, and it had real graffiti, not that fake bullshit graffiti that you were seeing in some of those like Beach Street type of movies, like that Hollywood graffiti. Like this had real wild style, like you know what I mean? Like so. Yeah, and then just that scene, that battle scene that y'all had and all that, like, oh man, it just blew our minds, man. It blew our minds to see that, like, yes, and it made us feel the same way, like, you know what? I'm not wasting my time. Like, because I'm pursuing it now.
Right.
I'm pursuing it. You're on the screen, but I'm trying to get to where you're at. And I'm saying, and you're saying, see, we didn't waste our time. And I'm saying, see, I'm not wasting my time. Like that's how I'm looking at it. Because I could someday fuck around and be in a movie or some shit like that. Because that's where hip hop is going. Like whoever y'all thought that this hip hop was gonna be a fad or some shit like that, I'm telling you, I know in my soul that this shit ain't going nowhere. This shit ain't going nowhere. It's only gonna get better and better. And we still here. Like,
it is.
About rhymes that was 40 years ago. Like, and it's crazy to say that. Like when people say to me, oh, I listened to your songs when I was in, junior high school or some shit, make me feel mad old or whatever. Like, damn, like we just celebrated our 30th anniversary for the One for All album. You know what I mean? And it's like, damn. So you're saying like
imagine how I feel. You know what I mean? If you can, and I haven't been commercially successful. I mean, in the sense of record sales and industry wise, you know what I mean? I'm more culturally successful. And not until like the aforementioned Macklemore, situation did I put a platinum plaque on my wall.
Right.
I mean, or have any kind of award, like a MTV award and shit like that. So it's like, that's attributed not to really the hip hop part of my journey. Is, you know what I mean? It's something that because of my hip hop journey, I was a part of. You know what I'm saying? But the award is the influence. The award is the influence.
Absolutely.
From like most of the things that we've said and you've said throughout the interview, you know what I mean, that led to people's thinkings, that made them see that and say, you know what, I probably could do that shit too. You know what I mean? I could do that and I can do that. Or I see how I do. You know what I mean? And all of that led to it. So when
the greatest love.
It is.
I understand, like Rakim was looking up to the Cold Crush, like Coogee Rap, Big Daddy Kane, like all of those type of people was listening to y'all shit. Like, yo, no, Cold Crush shit. Like there wasn't nobody that was exposed to hip hop at that time that wasn't listening to y'all shit and thinking that y'all was the motherfucking shit. Like everybody loved the Cold Crush. So I'm saying, like, anybody that's rap royalty today was looking at the Cold Crush. Like, I feel like even Run DMC, when Run DMC did, here we go. I'm telling you, they was trying to sound like the Cold Crush.
Oh, well, they'll tell you themselves.
Cold Crush shit on wax.
They'll tell you themselves. I mean, DMC more than anyone.
Oh, right. Matter of fact, yes, he will. I heard it.
Yeah, straight off the rip. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Matter of fact, he said he called himself DMC because you was GMC. So he called himself DMC because he wanted to be on his Cold Crush shit.
No doubt.
Like, well, it's 1981. You to believe it. Like, You used to be saying the years a lot in your joints too. That's how I remember a lot of these shits.
Yeah, yeah. It was part document, meant to document, what, the time period. Um, because from year to year, different people are making a mark. So you got to put your mark on that time period, put your stamp on that time period. So that's why, I do that a lot. A lot of it is about identification. We describe ourselves and I mean, our heights, our birthdays, our zodiac signs. You know what I mean? All this is communication, so you get to know, because it wasn't about the internet or none of that shit before.
Right.
So if you want to know about me, I'm gonna tell it. You're gonna know it in my rhymes. Yeah, man.
That's what I'm saying, and that's back in the days when, you had to like listen to the tape, maybe stare at the flyer if you was lucky enough to have one, and then just imagine. Imagine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that was a great part of hip hop too, is using your imagination before those videos really got prominent and all of that. You would just stare at the album cover of people's shit, or you know what I mean? Like I said, you'd look at flyers and shit like that, and just imagine what that shit was like, or how these niggas, what type of nigga these are. But you kind of feel like you know them because of the descriptive nature of some of the
and the persona that comes across through
yes, and I could tell, like, okay, like, again, I go back to a song like Yvette. I'm like, it takes a certain type of person to even be able to write a song like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I feel like only a live nigga would write some shit like that. Like, so that kind of tells me about your personality in a way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and even still, like, I mean, to this day, I've actually become cool with damn near everybody in your crew. But you still that one that stands out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just something about your personality. Like some of us have just very charismatic personalities more than others. You know what I mean? And it's not to just shit on anybody else. It's just certain people just, I don't know. They just stand out more, and you just always have had that about you. I mean, I'm sure you've had to hear some shit like that. Yes.
I mean, I think if you stand back, you stand out. A lot of times, everybody wants the limelight, everybody wants to be out front, and everybody wants to. But if you take your position, if you take your rightful position in this world, then that's where you're gonna be, and where you end up is where you're supposed to be. A lot of that has to do with positioning. It has to do with strategy. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you got to be the best. At the end of the day, it's like, well, what gives you all that? I mean, what makes you think that? Yeah, because I'm the best. Because I'm the best. What gives you to say so? Because I'm the best. I know what the fuck I'm doing better than all of you. I mean, and that's my strength. I mean, and that's interpreted in a lot of different ways when people either hear it, you know what I mean, or see it the way it comes across. So,
Caz, you definitely a legend in every sense of the word.
you just saying that because it's true.
You goddamn right, it's true.
Yo, quick question, yo. You heard the K Slade joint, the Rolling 50 Deep joint?
Yes.
Your thoughts?
Oh, well, shit. I'm on the remix.
Well,
on the 100 Deep. Yeah, it was dope. Come on, that shit was crazy. Like, first of all, I don't know many people who have enough respect to even get 50 MCs of that caliber to, like, give them their time twice. You know what I mean? Like, record the joint and then film for the video. You know what I mean? And yes, you was on there doing your goddamn thing. Um, and that's like super recent. Like, go check this song out. Yo, well, we already had K Slay on this show, like
Okay.
maybe a week or so ago. So my audience is already familiar with that song. But if you didn't go and check it out, go check it out right now. K Slay, Rolling 50 Deep. Um, the legend is on there. Grandmaster Caz is on there. And the remix is coming soon. I'm on there. Poohbah's on there. I think Rod Digger's gonna be on there. And I don't know. He got a lot of people. Yeah, a
Two
lot of
more heads gonna be on there.
gonna keep going. Yeah. But yeah,
50 more heads to be exact.
come on, man. See what I'm saying? And you still doing it to a high level. Like that's crazy, bro.
And I feel like if if you ever had it as far as, talent or whatever it is, then you never lose it.
Let's
You're always gonna have it.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you, my brother. Some people lose it. I've seen it. Some people actually lose it
You
for
know,
whatever.
really, really had it. They really had it. Or were they successful, or did they really have it and lost it?
I feel like some of them really had it and lost it. For and you can lose it for many different ways. It could be confidence. It could be, you know, you're just so removed from that environment that just I don't know. But I've seen people that had it and lost it. You know what I mean? So I don't think you should take it for granted. I don't think it's like riding a bike for everybody. Like for certain people it is, but for some people,
For me, it is.
yeah, for some people you get that ring rust. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh shit, I ain't had a fight in so long that like kind of forgot how to fight. You know what I mean? Like,
I get it. I get it. But you know the formula. I mean,
yeah,
you know how to train and how to get back in shape and all that. And all that shit is a part of it. You know what I'm saying? There's not a downfall you can show me a nigga can have that I haven't had. You know what I mean? And everybody ain't built the same. But I'm not saying it to pat myself on the back. I'm saying it to encourage motherfuckers and for people to know that we put a lot on people when we big them up or we put them in the public consciousness because of their success or because of something they did of note. But that can come and go. You know what I mean? But greatness is something that you don't lose. You don't lose being great. I'm not talking about good. I'm not talking about successful. I'm not talking about paid. I'm talking about great. Being great. You don't lose greatness.
right. Well, that's the essence of who you are. But sometimes you can lose your skill. You can lose your skill levels can get dulled a little bit.
Yeah, if he wasn't great.
Because what you don't use
If he wasn't great.
wasn't great.
That can happen to your skill level.
Well, I must be great because I ain't losing a goddamn thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I know you great, my brother. So listen, man, I'm gonna let you go. Once again, I appreciate you. Hang on, where could what's your socials and all of that type of shit? Let me
Okay, my social security number is
what's your IG and all that?
no FB, I'm Caz Brown. I don't really fuck with FB too tough that much because I mean the numbers is too low. But IG, I'm the real Grandmaster Caz.
The real
Grandmaster Caz. And my website is www.grandmastercaz.com. My merch is gmce.veryinkpressive.com.
Here we go. That's your IG right there.
Yeah, it is.
And mastercaz.com, correct?
Yes, sir.
.com. And what's the last one? What's the merch?
GMCE dot very impressive.
Very ink what?
Impressive. Like impressive, but
Gotcha.
impressive.com. Very.
Berry. Okay.
Yeah.
Berry. Okay, got you. Hang on.
And the ink is with a K.
Wait.
One R.
Yeah, I just saw that. That R slipped in there. We're gonna get it right, yo. Hold on. Boom. Boom. Boom.
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Okay.
If you want that GMC Grandmaster Caz, now that's a Grandmaster Caz hat you got on right there, yes?
Yeah, this is one of my joints. This is one of my patches. You know what I mean? But the joints that you get, that's the logo. And you know, I put GMC on it. I like that hot sauce. I put that shit on everything.
That's right.
But the hat's got the patch in the front, and they got my signature on the side. I got one of. Well, nah, I ain't gonna go get them. But just go to gmc.veryinkpressive.com, and you'll see all my t-shirts, my hats, masks. My book is available as well, written. The lyrics of Grandmaster Caz. So go shopping, baby.
Mm-hmm. Now I've actually had the pleasure of seeing you out a time or two at some upscale events, and I must say that Grandmaster Caz is quite a dresser. He got his suit game down. He got his grown man shit down.
No doubt.
Right, nice. Yeah. What was the last thing I saw you? That was that Gordon Parks thing.
Yeah. Matter of fact, yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I gets it in. I gets my grown man on.
You Casanova fly on, huh?
Exactly, because I don't feel dressed unless I'm dressed. Other than that, I just got some shit on. You know what I mean?
Well, listen,
nice, man. I'm always matching, no matter what it is. But
right,
suit on. That's
old school shit. You know, it's these young niggas that don't give a fuck what they put on now. They'll mix up all kinds of colors and shit, but it's old school to actually be matching and shit. Sometimes they say you're too matchy. Like, get the fuck out of here.
You're
never too matchy.
I'm sick with it, man. My drawers match.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, Grandmaster Caz with the most pizzazz. Thank you, my brother. And we love you here at the Godcast.
Hey, much appreciated, baby. You know, anytime, Lord Jamar.
Yes, sir. Here. Thank you, God.
Peace.
Peace.